My hurricane kick. I say, Hatek Fruket!
What?
What?
Hutch.
Oh, it's Hatek Fruket!
I use Garnier Fructis.
No. Hatek Fruket!
I'd like a fruit cup.
Hatek Fruket!
Look at that fat kid.
Hatek Fruket!
I'd like some high fructose corn.
No. It's Hatek Fruket!
Attack the fruity kid?
Wow.
Hey guys, welcome back to another riveting episode of Quick Play Video. I am your mediocre, humble, complete bullshit host of this ridiculous ass series that for some reason I'm still doing despite the lack of viewership. I am of course Carmen, and let's just jump right in. We're going to play one of my favorite games of all time, and I've said that about a lot of games, but you know, fuck it, you know, it's one of my favorite games of all time, Street Fighter Alpha 3. Now, oddly enough, I didn't really start to have an appreciation for this game until a couple of years ago when I downloaded it through the PlayStation Network onto my PlayStation Vita. My Vita, which has become more like a permanent fixture on my person more often than not. I'd play it anywhere. Play it while traveling, play it at the gym, in between sets. I've even played it on the treadmill. I'd just whip it out and load up some Street Fighter Alpha, and I'll just sit there and start fucking hurricane kicking people in the face while on the treadmill. And sometimes I think there's a break of reality because I'll start actually hurricane kicking the people next to me on the other treadmills. It's got me banned from quite a few gyms. It's a dark part of my history. I don't really want to talk about it, so I'm officially closing the book on that chapter of my life. Where was I going with this? Anyway, so, yeah, I started playing this on the Vita, and this is the first time in a long time that I've actually played this with a conventional controller, so it feels a little stiff in comparison. I said the word stiff. But yeah, it feels stiff by comparison. The Vita version is amazing, by the way. I absolutely love it. I take it with me. If I were a superhero who had a utility belt, the damn Vita would be like the chief utility on said belt. But never mind that. So focus back on Street Fighter Alpha 3 here, since I love the jump topic and go on these side tangents that spawn other side tangents. And but yeah, so I originally did get a copy of this when I was a teenager, when this came out for the PlayStation. And at the time, I was starting to kind of fall out of that whole trend of fighting games. I started playing fighting games when I was younger. Used to blow all of my damn allowance every week at the local arcade or at the, not the grocery store, but like the little corner stores, like the little Stop and Robs. They usually had the arcade cabinets of Street Fighter 2. And I used to go in there. I used to get like $10 allowance every week. Now, not like some of you, you know, spoiled kids these days where you just get $10 allowance because you feel you're entitled to it. Now, I had to work my ass off for it. I had to mow the lawn and wash the dishes and pretty much do all the shit that that my other siblings were too fucking lazy to do. But somehow they always ended up getting more allowance than I did. I don't know. Family politics, man, it's bullshit. But I'd spend my entire massive $10 allowance, I'd break it down into quarters, and I'd go fucking waste my weekend away at the arcade. So I really sharpened my my skill in games like Street Fighter during those earlier phases of my life. Now, as I got older, I started to appreciate games with more intricate levels of play, with deeper backstories, and just, you know, pretty much other aspects all around. So I started kind of losing my, you know, my interest in fighting games around the time this came out, and of course, having grown up playing the traditional Street Fighter 2, or Street Fighter Turbo 2, or Street Fighter Super Turbo 2 Plus Max EX12, or Street Fighter TurboTax Edition, or Street Fighter like Triple Cheeseburger Supersized Edition, and all the other Street Fighter versions in between. All of those versions were a little more conventional. It was more based on, you know, throwing some punches, throwing some kicks, a couple of special attacks. As you got into those later versions, especially when Street Fighter Alpha, when the Alpha series actually came out, it did start to become more combo based. And aside from playing Killer Instinct, which was a game that focused, that main focus of that game was a combo-based fighting system, I just really wasn't a huge fan of that. It's like, man, I just want to throw some Shoryukens, some Hadoukens, some Shaktaktakfrutaks, and, you know, just get on with kicking ass. So I just kind of started, I kind of got a little disenchanted, a little disenfranchised, as it were. Oh, Birdie, this big motherfucker. I always hated fighting him. So yeah, I didn't really start appreciating this until I downloaded it a couple years ago on my Vita, which I went to not Best Buy, I went to GameStop for the midnight release. And I was so happy and proud of myself, and yeah. But anyway, be that as it may. I started really appreciating it. I really started getting into the combos. May not show right now, but as you know, I mentioned, I'm trying to kind of relearn how to play this on a conventional controller. I mean, yeah, so I appreciate it now definitely much more than I did as a kid. I always thought the animation for these for the Alpha series was beautiful, amazingly beautiful. You know, everything is just so fluid. Everything flows so nicely. The gameplay is very smooth. The combos, just kind of everything strings together so beautifully. It's really a magnificent game. The entire Alpha series was an awesome series. And like I said, there were so many different versions of Street Fighter. I think there was as many versions of Street Fighter as there were editions of Monopoly. And oddly enough, there is a Street Fighter Alpha edition of Monopoly, which I happen to own. Now I'm fighting Birdie here. Growing up, I didn't like fighting him because when I was younger, I just wasn't as in tune with the combo system. I didn't really know how to pull him off. And Birdie used to make pretty quick work of me. And the earlier going, he's not so bad. When you get later on into the game, though, he starts, you know, he becomes much more difficult. He becomes a much more aggressive combatant. He has this one melee attack, or not really melee, I'm sorry, this one grapple attack, where he'll grab at you with his chains, and he'll just toss you around the damn screen, and it takes off huge amounts of damage. You take immense damage. You absorb lots of damage from that move. And it was always a pain in the dick for me. And of course Vega, fucking jumping around all over the place. Nice to see some things never change. But yeah, and I know some of you guys are like, man, you're playing like such total noob stuff. I'm like, yeah, you know, by all means, I can't disagree with that. I don't play these games as often as I used to. I only get a chance to sit down and play when I'm bored, or if I'm not at the gym or at work, or not off doing something obligatory. But I guess as it pertains to this particular game, I'm more of a casual to intermediary level of play, not hardcore by any means. There are some games that I'm still at a hardcore or more of a professional level, but Street Fighter, not as much as I used to. I'm not even really a big fan of the newer ones that came out. I've tried playing them, and they look nice, but just nothing that really tickles my pickle, as it were. You know, but yeah, some of you guys, I'm sure you could do this blindfolded with one hand tied behind your ass while beating off with the other and still have an easy go at this game. And to those of you who can pull off that most amazing feat, I salute you. I have nothing but the deepest respect for you. But, you know, I just don't get a chance to play as much. Now, one fighting game that I have been playing that I absolutely love, I adore it, and I think it's one of the most interesting, most beautiful, and unique fighting games of this past generation is a game called Skullgirls. If you don't know what Skullgirls is, do a Google search, look up the intro trailer on YouTube. It's got an amazing cast of characters, all very, very interesting, very unique. It's all hand-drawn and hand-animated. Beautiful. Amazing. If you're a fan of these types of games, go check it out. You can download it on Steam. I love it. It's a great game. And I think this is going to be the last battle for me tonight. It's about the halfway mark anyway. And as you can see, there was some dialogue there between Karen and Ken. And you know how I feel about exposition. Fuck exposition. Let's just get to some ass beatery. So yeah, let me try to round this one out. I appreciate you guys who keep coming back to this channel. I have a huge fan base. but it's for the very few of you that stick around. For my 22 subscribers, you're the reasons that I do it, because hey, as long as I have even one person out there who likes the shit that I do, who likes watching these lame ass videos, if you get any modicum of entertainment out of it at all, hey, then I'm here doing it for you. But this has been another quick play video. I'm about to send Karen home early. Thank you guys for coming. Click like, subscribe, leave a suggestion in the comments below if you'd like to see me play any game at all. Have a pleasant evening, guys. Thanks for coming by.
My hurricane of flesh will pound your ass!
Okay, what's with you and asses?
It's my fighting style.